Tonight on Newswatch 18, ISU's graduate program continues to be a national leader.
And a Malaysian plane is missing off the Gulf of Thailand.
The men's basketball team had a crazy game on senior day on Saturday. Alan Fidelki has the recap.
And we have some more wintry precip starting to fall across portions of central Iowa. I'll tell you just how much we'll get and what we could see coming up next on Newswatch 18.
This is Newswatch 18. Newswatch 18 starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday's edition of Newswatch 18. I'm Will Dodds.
And I'm Maria Lizignoli. Thank you for joining us. Iowa State University's graduate program in agriculture and biosystems engineering continues to be a national leader. The program ranks 4th overall and 4th among public universities, according to the latest U.S. News and World Report graduate school rankings that were released today. Iowa State is among the top 25 public universities in 12 of the magazine's colleges and department ratings.
Were you sad this Valentine's Day and not in a single Awareness Day acronym kind of way? Still looking for that special someone? Keep calm, the dating doctor is here. David Coleman will be speaking on the 12th at 7 p.m. in the Great Hall of the MU. He will be giving advice on all things romance, dating, and relationships. During his 20 years of speaking at college campuses, he has won National Speaker of the Year 14 times, has written 4 books, and has made various appearances on all major TV networks and newspapers. He may not be Dr. Love, but he's got a cure for you.
The U.S. Department of Defense is counting on Iowa State students to help protect their smartphones. ISU professor and in electrical and computer engineering, Suraj Kathari, has put together a research team to find answers in the software behind the apps and the operating systems on Android-based smartphones. The project, worth $4.9 million, is to use computational modeling to detect software sabotage. Kathari says catastrophe is all but inevitable if cybersecurity measures fail to match the sophistication of saboteurs.
ROTC has done it again. For the 3rd straight year in a row, the Cyclone ROTC has been declared one of the top 8 battalions in the nation. The Cyclone Battalion was awarded for being the best of the 3rd Brigade's 41 battalions in the Midwest. There are 275 battalions nationwide vying for the award, which are given to each of the best battalions in the 8 brigades. Things like achievements in the school's commissioning mission, cadet performance and standing on the command's National Order of Merit list, and its cadet retention rates are considered when giving out the award. The Cyclone Battalion has 140 cadets that include Iowa State students and students from Drake, Grandview, Storm Lake, and Buena Vista University.
ISU professor Ruth Litchfield is optimistic that the new nutrition labels will make a difference against the battle of obesity. The Food and Drug Administration recently proposed a change to the nutrition labels, requiring that the calories per serving be prominently displayed in bold font. Litchfield says that just seeing the calories so big and so bold will hopefully draw some attention and get people to look at the information. The FDA says that it will take at least 2 to 5 years before consumers will even see the new labels on the products.
Baffled authorities are still in search of the Boeing 777 that went missing last Saturday. The Malaysian flight departed from Kuala Lumpur on its way to Beijing. As it was crossing the eastern coast over the Gulf of Thailand, the plane disappeared from radar screens. 2/3 of the flight's passengers were from China, and Chinese authorities are urging Malaysian rescue teams to speed up their efforts. 9 countries have sent in ships to help with the rescue mission, including Australia, the United States, China, Vietnam, and several more.
A former Washington, D.C. school teacher has been sentenced to 25 years in prison this week. After spending a year on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list, Eric Toth was captured and charged with 23 separate instances of child pornography. 17 children found themselves victims of Toth after he hid a camera in the restrooms disguised as an air freshener. After prison, Toth will serve a supervised release sentence for life. Both the defendant and the prosecutor agreed that Toth needs treatment. And now we are joined at the desk by Jared. Jared, did the men's basketball team end their two-game skid?
They did, and it was in dramatic fashion. I'll tell you how after the break. Stay tuned. You're watching Newswatch 18. Welcome back to Newswatch 18. I'm Jared Calvert with your Cyclone Sports Update. It was a memorable senior day for the fans and the four seniors on Saturday. Alan Fidelki has the recap.
As Marcus Smart headed to the foul line with the Oklahoma State Cowboys up 3 with 20 seconds left, Cycle fans started to find their way to the exit in Hilton Coliseum. After Smart made 1 of 2 and Dustin Hogue made a pair of free throws, the Cyclones found themselves down 2 with 87% free throw shooter Phil Forte heading to the line with just 5 ticks remaining on the clock. After Forte made his first, he missed his second, resulting in this. Naslong making the 3 to force overtime came as no surprise to senior Melvin Edgem.
I mean, the kid just hits big shots. I mean, that's all that it is. He's a big-time player, big-time shot maker, and, you know, he made another one today.
The 3 by Long hurt Oklahoma State's head coach Travis Ford the most because the Cyclones were not even supposed to be able to get off a final shot.
We wanted to foul. We were telling the guys they didn't either hear or react, or, you know, we had different lineups and different guys in the game that may not be as, but hey, it happens. They made a tough shot.
Late in overtime, head coach Fred Hoiberg found himself in the foul or defend dilemma. Hoiberg decided to foul, and the decision worked as Markel Brown missed 2 free throws. Kane secured the rebound and made his second free throw to ice the game as the Cyclones defeated the Cowboys on senior day 85-81. Senior DeAndre Kane led the way for the Cyclones in his final home game at Hilton with 27 points, 8 dimes, and 7 boards. George Yang poured in 22 points and 6 rebounds, and Naslong came off the bench to score 14 points. It was a tough senior day for Melvin Edgem as he fouled out with 3 minutes left in regulation with 12 points and 8 rebounds. Even though Hoiberg is known for bringing in transfers, it is the 4-year senior at Iowa State who he will always remember.
It seems like yesterday I was on a plane flying out to see Melvin at Brewster Academy and to make sure he kept his commitment, and I'm sure glad he did because he's done some pretty special things here. He's done it all, and to see the growth of Melvin as a player, as a person, you know, everything that's involved with that makes Melvin who he is pretty special. So, you know, it's been an honor to coach him. He's going to go down as one of my all-time favorites.
With ISU TV Sports, I'm Alan Fidelki.
The men's basketball team collected some hardware on Sunday. Senior Melvin Edgem was named Big 12 Player of the Year and First Team All-Big 12. Senior DeAndre Kane was named Big 12 Newcomer of the Year and also on the First Team All-Big 12. Sophomore George Niang was named Third Team All-Big 12. The team is back in action at the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City on Thursday. Tip-off is set for 11:30 a.m. against Kansas State. The game can be seen on ESPN2. Although one more Cy-Hawk matchup remains this year, Iowa State has clinched the series thanks to the gymnastics team. The senior gymnast for the Cyclones led the way with top scores on Friday's senior night matchup against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Senior Milan Ivory and junior Caitlin Brown tied for top vault scores at 9.775. Camille Centaur shined on the bars with a score of 9.95, tying a personal and school record on the beam. On the beam, senior Michelle Shealy had the highest score of 9.825, and senior Henrietta Green led the Cyclones on the floor with a 9.9. With higher team scores in every event, the Cyclones would win the meet 195.925 to 192.775. They travel to Colorado this weekend to compete in a tri-meet against the Denver Pioneers and Boise State. The meet is set to start at 7 p.m. The Big 12 Wrestling Championship took place in Norman on Saturday. As Iowa State Cyclones took third as a team, 2 wrestlers grabbed the gold medal and punched their ticket to Oklahoma City for the NCAA championships next week. Leland Weatherspoon and top-ranked Kyvan Gadsden won at 184 and 197 pounds, respectively. The gold medal makes 2 straight conference championships for Gadsden. And despite not winning their weight class, brothers Gabe and Michael Moreno also qualified for the NCAA championship. The 4 grapplers will take the mat at the 2014 championships in Oklahoma City beginning on March 20th. The Iowa State softball team had another busy weekend as they played in the Shocker Softball Classic in Wichita, Kansas. The Cyclones went 1-2 for the weekend as they defeated North Dakota 13-2 on Saturday, between losses to San Diego State 1-10 on Friday, as well as Wichita State on Sunday 16-18. Brittany Gomez had a great game from the plate against North Dakota, going 4 for 4 and scoring 3 runs. The Cyclones travel to Louisville, Kentucky this weekend as they play in the Class Act Federal Credit Union Classic. The first game will be against Kent State on Friday, with the game set to start at 1 p.m.
Meteorologist Corey Hargeth back here with you on Newswatch 18. Like I said before the break, we do have winter back in our forecast for tonight, and it's going to lead to a chilly Wednesday, but don't worry. We get back to spring by the end of the week. We'll take a look at temperatures in our 7-day forecast in just a minute. Highs today, it was cooler up to our north with the higher snow totals right now. 40 in Mason City was your high, 44 in Ames, and 50 in Sioux City. We'll look at current temps. We have started to drop. Pretty much everyone is down into the 30s, 35 Mason City. We're at 36 in Ames, and we still sit at 40 degrees here at this hour in Sioux City. We'll zoom in and look at the local area a little bit closer. 37 in Ankeny, 39 in Des Moines, 36 in Ames. Moving up to the north, it's also 36 in Fort Dodge, and the same thing in Iowa Falls. Zoom back out and look at the clouds and radar that we saw just a little bit earlier. And here's our wintry precipitation that is starting to push its way across the state. But you'll also notice that it is starting to break up a little bit as it gets just over Ames. So if we do see anything, it's going to be very light. And I should also mention that most of this coming into the city of Ames is going to be falling as a rain-snow mix instead of more snow. So here we go with our futurecast. High pressure is going to dominate our forecast over the next day or so before a warm front starts to push its way in, and that's going to bring in our warmer temperatures towards the end of the 7-day forecast as we start getting into spring break. But we just have to deal with those cold temperatures for just a little bit longer. 20 overnight tonight with the wintry mix early and maybe a chance at some snow, and it's going to be gusty with winds out of the west-northwest at 20 to 25, gusting to 30. The wind stays strong out of the north-northwest for tomorrow, up to 31 with some scattered flurries possible. And 7-day forecast, once we get through Wednesday, we're back into the 50s for highs, and looks like just as everyone is about ready to leave town, that's when we're going to start to get warmer. So it looks like some decent numbers in the forecast, but it's still going to feel a little bit cool compared to where we should be this time of year. That's all we got for weather.
So we only have 4 more days till spring break. Do you guys have any plans?
I'll be staying home and spending some time with my family over spring break.
I'll also be enjoying a nice staycation at home.
Nope, I will be going on a Caribbean cruise. Ooh. And looking at the forecast, it looks very, very nice. Double our high temperatures here,
yeah.
So just to rub it in a little bit.
I'll be in Mexico with my family. I'm very excited. And that's all we have for tonight's edition of Newswatch 18. Tune in on Thursday for more Cyclone news, weather, and sports.
Have a great night, Ames.